Give us this. Wake up, sweetness.
Your first time should be more than special.
I'm in, Savannah said. Good Lord, Gemma. When a man and a woman, in this case, really, really love each other, what happens is they fuck.
Ooh, hello?
Oh, dang it, I lost my fish. This next word almost sounds like Quidditch. Quidditch milad Diana Agosiagath an Fiedian. As much as I love fucking you, sweetness, we stared into each other's eyes whilst I moaned in ecstasy. Having consumed half of the bourbon, I keep saying bourbon. You know, every time I mess up on a word, Stunt Mama just shows up.
She had her seductive smile on her lips.
I said we couldn't have sex. I didn't say anything about everything else. Ew, happy to help. Biatch. You are the spark of light in the vastness of my night. His note, like a finality to a beautiful, breathtaking song.
Good evening. How are you? Welcome to Thursday. Almost the end of the week. We're getting close. We're getting close. But none of that matters right now, because what matters right now is relaxing, de-stressing, decompressing, and just overall enjoying a bit of you time. You know? Take some time for yourself. That's okay. You have permission, not from me. You have permission from yourself. You don't need my permission. You don't need anybody's permission. You know how hard you've worked this week. You know the effort you have put in, the things you've had to do, possibly even the things you've had to sacrifice. So now it's time for something for yourself, something for you. Stump Mama's Mama, hello, and good job on snatching first place. It's fantastic. It's funny because when I started up OBS, Adamantine was already in here, lurking. And I thought, well, maybe Adamantine was going to steal first place. But Stump Mama's Mama, you swooped in and just took it. So good for you. Mama House Gaming, it is always a pleasure to see you. Always. You make my heart smile when I see your name pop up in chat. And Dry, welcome back. How are you? And Kay's here as well, the dutiful Kay. I hope you're doing okay. I gotta tell you, I have not been sleeping well at all. And it's been kind of rough, to be honest. I'm a tired guy. And it's making me a bit more on edge, like I don't have as much patience because of it. You know how you get when you're tired. You know, you lose a bit of yourself in the process. You're not you. It's like the Snickers commercial. You're not you when you're hungry. Well, you're not you when you're tired, too. But the main reason behind that is because I've been having a lot of nightmares. Just really bad dreams. pretty consistently, multiple times a night, to the point where I wake up like having to double check that what I see when I wake up is reality versus what I just dreamt about. That's how vivid they are. And it's, unfortunately, the dreams are always about people dying. Like, just, and then I wake up with this guilt. It's been really weird. So I get to the point where I know I'm exhausted, but I don't want to go to sleep. And I don't enjoy, or I worry about what might happen while I am asleep, knowing that I don't really have any control over what I dream about. So it's been a rough it's been a rough week in that regard. But I'm doing fine otherwise. 2 thumbs up. There goes my yawn. Stressed about the house? If so, understandable. I don't know what it is, to be honest. I'm not even that stressed about the house. I was stressed about moving, but I just today finished with I was reviewing moving companies, and today was number 5. And I guess save the best till last rings true here, because we're going to go with the one we looked at last. So, sorry. Do you eat before going to bed? No, not usually. I might have, like, lately I've been having, or not even lately, like sometimes I'll have a popsicle just because it's liquid, but it's not a lot of liquid, and it's something to munch on, so to speak, if that makes any sense. But that's usually about it. Sorry, man. Oh, excuse me. There goes number 3. Telling us about it may help you get out of your system. I hope so. I hope so. I had spoken to my therapist about it the last time I saw him, and that night I didn't have any nightmares, and I didn't for about 4 or 5 days, and I thought, oh, good, we're done. And then they came back. So, it is what it is. Dreams about death usually means there's going to be a birth. Not in this house. No. Mel's here. Hi, Mel. Hi, Mel.
Spicy.
So, yeah. But anyway, that's my story. Oh, shoot. I knew I was forgetting something. You know when you're getting set up and you're just like, what am I missing? I forgot to set up a puzzle. So, hold on. Don't mind me. I'm going to find you one right now, just in case anyone wants to do the puzzle. Oh, gosh. Let's see. Let's punch in our search parameters so that we can find an appropriate puzzle. Appropriate puzzle for you to do. Yes. Yes, indeed. Oh yeah, there's the angry one that we did last time. It's funny. It got finished too. I was very impressed. Surely there's I found it. This is amazing. I have found the one. Create link, copy, pasta. Let me get the link ready. So don't try and join it yet if you're planning on it. I need to update it. Otherwise you'll be sent to the last one and that one won't be there. Okay. Now it's updated. Here's your puzzle. That's funny. It doesn't have to be in your house, just anyone you know, really. Well, based off of how many dreams I've had, there's going to be a lot of people. It's going to be a whole litter. Yeah, honestly, life is stressful in general, and then add more things on top. Yes, absolutely. Going to lurk for the father. Thank you, Alan. I was lurking on you earlier today, but you probably knew that. Puzzle of Cats? Absolutely. This is our book, Xerenyse The Witch Cat, which, by the way, we need to read. You may have realized that I've switched my chatting and reading screens around. I decided that the fireplace was nice and all, but I really like this scene for the time of year that it is. So I wanted to try it out. Uh-oh. Kay is having some connection issues. Send all the good vibes to Kay. That tea is amazing. No worries, Kay. No worries at all. Just take care of yourself, please. That's all I ask. All right. We ended last time on chapter 3, which, for those of you keeping up, that means we're starting on chapter 4. Bookfather, did no one tell you we have an official category now? Wait, we do? Isn't reading fun the category? What's the category? And hi, by the way. Writing and reading. But I'm not writing. Not right now. Ooh. All right. Well, I just updated it. Thank you for letting me know. Oh, it even has a picture. Reading fun doesn't have a picture. Are they going to get rid of reading fun? I'm curious. Because it would be nice to kind of put us all together. You know what I mean? Make the group look bigger and therefore easier to find, hopefully. Us reading streamers need love too. Reading fun is a bodge that we've been using for like 6 years. I'm assuming you meant badge, or maybe you didn't mean badge because the O and the A are nowhere near each other. Writing and reading is Twitch official. Yes. It's about time. Recognition. That's all I'm saying. Well, thank you for letting me know officially, because now I will just use it forever. That makes me happy. Bodge like Cludge. A rigged up answer from the string and chewing gum. I love it. I love it. Well, you popped in at the right time. We're just about to start reading. Exclamation point Xerenyse. If you want to hear more about this book, the author, and other books she has written. A.J. Saunders is a wonderful writer. I have read some of her work already in the past. If you go into my About section, you'll see a long list of books. Someone said something about it this morning during Stump Mama stream. Yes, I know, but I didn't actually understand if it was the official, thing. I just heard it was a new category, so I was a bit confused. Oh my gosh, and Pants is here. Hi, Pants. Can we get a shout out for Pants? And can we get a shout out for Neff as well, please? Neff and Pants. Oh my gosh, and Soda's here. Ooga booga. My goodness. It is great to see you all. You are lifting my spirits. My wonderful mod tonight, Mama House Gaming, She is a treat. So do yourselves a favor and go check her out as well. All right. I got a haircut recently. Can you tell? I'm all nice and short and faded now. Chapter 4 in the printed copy starts as on page 35. Xerenyse has officially been turned into a cat. It's happened. I'll be lurking. I have some mod duties to attend to in another reader. No worries. Thank you for the lurk. Very handsome. I also like the shirt. Thank you. It's one of my favorites. Faded, as in faded. You tell me. A little hard to tell though with the shadows. Chapter 4. Here we go. Xerenyse, wake up. I open my eyes and peer up into Mama's loving face. Her warm hand skims the top of my head, and I want to cry. Mama, what are you doing here? It's strange to find her crouched over me. We heard you call. I frown. When? You meowed when you were in the alleyway with the tomcat. That's Nana. You meowed. Nana says, coming out of the shadows. You mean you were there? Nana nods. We followed you. I jump up, and my head sways. Why didn't you come to my rescue? My mother pats the ground next to her. We were about to, but a group of young lads arrived. I approach and place a paw on her arm. But they can't see you. Mama remains silent. She glances around the room, refusing to make eye contact with me, and my mouth runs dry. Something isn't right. She's paler than usual. They all are. My ears fold back. What if Morvario followed you? I ask. Oh, don't worry about that, Nana says. I glance her way and catch a dark shadow over her shoulder. Nana, behind you. In that frozen moment, a look of complicity passes between Great-Grandma and Morvario. Her eyes flick from him to me before they close into cat-like slits. Is she turning into a feline too? Before I know it, her hand reaches out and comes down hard on my back, pinning me to the floor and knocking the air out of me. Come on, Morvario, I've got her. A pair of rough hands grab me by the scruff of the neck. Mama, I shout, legs shooting out in all directions. Don't let him take me. My mother kicks out, but Morvario pushes her aside and pulls me under his cloak. Nana, do something. Nana steps forward, but Great-Grandma is quicker. She shoots her leg out and Nana takes a dive onto the floor. With her knee pressed firmly in the small of Nana's back, Great-Grandma pulls on her arm. Nana's howling shatters me. What has gotten into Great-Grandma? Sounds like she's become a traitor, is what I'm thinking. With one hand over my mouth and the other clasping my legs, Morvario carries me away into the gloomy darkness. It's impossible to breathe. He's suffocating me. Nausea crawls up the back of my throat. A cold sweat covers my body. Shh. His brutal voice is raw in my ear. Panic takes over. I try to fight with every muscle, but struggle as I might, I'm no match for this devil. My heart hammers in my ribcage. It hurts like wildfire. Spots form in front of me as my body screams out for oxygen. Just when I believe I'm going to die, my eyes fly open. A long sigh escapes when I glimpse the priest's stole twisted around me. Swallowing again and again in an effort to get my breath back, I untangle all 4 legs from the knotted fabric, trying to break free from the horrible nightmare. Thank goodness it was all a dream. If I could cry tears of relief, I would. Bawl my eyes out even. But cats don't cry. Whenever I used to get upset or wound up, a good cry would make me feel better, release all the pent-up stress, improve my mood. And right now, that's what I need. Shout out my relief, express how I feel. I pull my head back and open my mouth wide. A drawn-out meow is all that comes out. It's so frustrating. I shake my head. Why am I dreaming of Moverio? Is this a message? I read somewhere once that dreams are the opposite of what truly happens in life. Isn't it kind of ironic that I just complained about all my nightmares and now we're talking about dreams? Just gonna leave that out there. I read somewhere once that dreams are the opposite of what truly happens in life. Does that mean he's dead? Must be. No one could have survived that thunderous bolt of lightning. Could they? If he is dead, surely I can go back home. I slip out of the wardrobe and head into the nave. Unevenly spaced footsteps resound in the church. If someone's there, the door must be open. An old lady heads up the aisle carrying 2 pots of hyacinth. I can read. A waft of their unmistakable scent lingers behind her. Reminds me of our back garden, where the flowers stand against the wall of the house, flooding the air with their fragrance. Despair surfaces. 1 minute I'm surrounded by my family. The next, I'm alone. Myco Psycho. Words? How do they work? That's basically a mystery. Someone decided one day what they would be, and then we kind of went, yeah, that sounds good. And nobody questioned it. Nobody. How are you? Good to see you. I need to get my act together. Find food. Not in town where there's danger, though. I have to avoid the alley and the randy cat. The forest seems a better solution. There'll be fish in the ponds. The old woman left the church door open, and I slink outside into the sun's brightness. I blink several times. After the dim interior of the church, I need a moment to get used to the new light. Another day begins. People walk around, getting on with their lives. The postman pedals his bicycle. A short, bald-headed chap walks his dog, and 2 young athletes jog side by side. I envy them. They all do what they want, whereas I can't. I'm stuck in a body I don't want. A body I never asked for. Okay, but raise of hands. How many times have we said, man, I wish I could be my cat or dog right now and do nothing and just have no cares in the world? As I lay here on the bed provided for me, not worrying about the bills that have to be paid. I have. I just want to read their minds. No kidding. Can you imagine having a conversation with your pets? Like a legit conversation? Dr. Dolittle. I would never want to be a cat. I mean, the agility and flexibility of a cat, insane. I mean, I do, but I'm weird. And poo in a box. You could still use the bathroom if you want. Plus, I have a husky, so she talks back. But understanding the husky, now that would be the game changer. Anyway, getting off track here. Because, well, actually, one more comment. My cat and dog don't get along, but they don't fight. You know, they just kind of put up with each other. But I swear, there's some sort of communication going on between the two of them. There has to be. Right? Otherwise, I don't know. Things would be different, I guess. But how are they doing it? Because it's usually just looks. Are they doing micro expressions? It's not like the dog's going, and then the cat goes, meow. You know? Beats me. Need some scientists to figure it out. Stat. Animals inspire me. Their work to leisure ratio is incredible. Oh, yeah. Marcher's here. What's up, Marcher? That or they're psychic. Yeah, I have also wondered if it's some sort of telekinesis. I don't know. Anyway, back to the story. Back on the paths leading to the forest, raindrops slide down the blades of grass onto the already wet ground. The air is fresher following last night's rain, and with every step, water seeps from the path over my paws. Oh, that's right. Thank you, Kay, for correcting me. Totally got those switched around in my head. Just got back from the movies, doing well. Ooh, what'd you go see? We went and saw Transformers, the new animated one, recently. And tomorrow, we're going to go see Wild Robot. You saw the Wild Robot. Nice. Thumb Gaming, thank you for the lurk. Enjoy your stream, sir. It was good. You will like it? Yeah, my 8-year-old read the books when he was in school, so he's looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great. I breathe in deeply. The soil is at its richest essence. It's great to have damp earth under my paws instead of hard concrete. I've always wanted to walk barefoot through the forest, only with all the insects and stray twigs, it was never a good idea. Head hung low, I pad along the dirt track. Excuse me. Heavy legs and aching back break my spirits. Not that I had much to start off with. It's difficult getting used to being in a cat's skin. And to top it all off, I'm starving. Sunlight filters through the tall hedgerow, warming me just a little. Dew from a few leaves hits my nose, and I lick off the drops. All this rushing around has made me thirsty too. When I find something to eat and water to quench my thirst, I'll head back to the cottage and to my family. Before doing that, though, I'll have to make sure Moverio is dead. Check if his body is still lying where the lightning struck him. You never know. There's a break in the story, which means I can take a sip. Because I keep clearing my throat. Rexter, what's up, man? How are you? Are you still feeling under the weather? Pretty sure you said you were feeling under the weather. If you physically make someone move an object for you, would that be technically telekinesis? Fever? Oh, dude. I'm really sorry to hear that. That's some good tea. I hope you've been taking the day to rest. If I find out you've been up and about doing stuff for other people, I swear I got 2 of these fingers and I know how to use them. Just saying. Anyway, the break in the story is over. I enter the forest and expand my lungs. The place hums with life. High above, light breaks through the leaves, softer on reaching the ground. Wildflowers and dead leaves crunch beneath me as I trudge down the dirt track stretching out in front of me. Next question. Oi, buddy. I hope you're resting now. You need it. A rustling on the right sets my pulse racing. I turn slowly toward the sound, ready to bolt away. A solitary badger waddles off out of the fern. It starts to cross the track, long striped nose glued to the ground before coming to a halt in front of me. We observe each other for as long as it takes for me to make out the colors of its eyes. Then, it disappears into the shrubs on the opposite side of the track. Someone have to do the work? Yeah, I understand. I do. Just do it slower. Will I ever get used to the fact that not all noises are a danger? The sudden hoot of an owl sends my fur spiking. No, that sound could mean danger. An owl hooting in broad daylight is so rare. Please don't say it's him. He was struck down. I saw his body lying in a heap. Or at least, I saw his cloak in a heap. What if he shifted before getting hit? What if he's still alive? My mind fills with negative thoughts, and all because of an owl hooting. It may not be him. That said, no way am I going to hang around to check if the bird has 2 different colored eyes. I rocket away, which is funny because our cat is named Rocket. But the way he looks now, you think he just swallowed the rocket instead of became one. He's fat. He's really big. I don't know which way I'm going for the moment. Once again, distance is all that matters. Chest heaving, I slow down until I'm trotting at a comfortable pace. The owl scaring me was the last straw. I'm ready to collapse. I need a nap. Not too long, just a few minutes. Persuaded that I'm out of danger, I ferret around and take refuge under a few runners of cascading ivy. It's not brilliant, but my legs refuse to go on. Is this all I'm going to do for a whole year? Run backwards and forwards between the forest and surrounding towns, hoping Morverio won't find me? That is, if he's alive. I'm not even sure I'll make it through the 12 long months. I curl up, tail in a swoop around my body, head tucked in toward my chest in an effort to conserve body heat, and I drop off to sleep. A snap of twigs brings me awake. Shit, how long have I been out? The sun is still in the sky. I can't have slept for that long. Through strands of creeping ivy, the outline of a somber figure moves in the shadows of the woodland canopy. I hold my breath for the fear of the worst. The person's heading my way. On approaching, I sense he's no danger, unless I'm too weak to judge anymore. Whatever. No point in coming out into the open and blowing my cover. I crouch in the shadows, sitting tight. The cold foliage rubs my nose. A sneeze is on its way. Not surprising with the cold, damp weather. Wouldn't be surprised if I catch pneumonia. A stifled snort escapes, breaking the silence. The person comes to a halt. I wonder if this is the person that ends up, adopting Xerenyse, that she falls for. Taking a few steps forward, he stoops and pulls back the tendrils of ivy. With parted lips, he peers down at me. Hey, what are you doing here, puss? His voice is deep and warm. I lift my head and shiver. As a rule, I don't trust people. There's something about this person that's different, though. Maybe it's his soft, hazel eyes reminding me of the forest. Or the way his clean-shaven face lights up on seeing me. Not quite clean-shaven. Like the calm atmosphere around me, the last taut muscle in my body relaxes. He holds out a hesitant hand and ruffles my neck, searching for a collar, no doubt. I shrink back slightly, not used to being touched like that, especially by men. On bended knee, he places his rucksack on the ground, where I glimpse different plants striking out from the mouth of the bag. Looks as if he's been rummaging in the undergrowth. Ever so gently, he curls a hand under my body and holds me close to his chest, mumbling under his breath. He caresses my back before reaching out to pick up his rucksack. That's right. Mad Locust, hello. A couple of minutes later, I'm huddled on what I believe could be his sweater, basking in the heat of his car. He's tossed his cap onto the back seat, revealing jaw-length raven hair that curls on the edge of his collar. Oh my. I gaze up at his face. No emotion, apart from a muscle that twitches every so often at the corner of his mouth. Nothing. His eyes focus on the road ahead, yet there's something about him I can't quite pinpoint. A strange undercurrent of attraction. I take another glance. He doesn't come off as being the mean type. Treetops float by, their thin branches sway in front of a cloud-dappled sky. At times, a high hedge whizzes by as the car cruises out of the forest and down the country road. Before long, the pitter-patter of light rain taps on the windscreen. He flicks on the wipers. Just as well. Within a second, the rain pelts down, deforming the world outside. The man stretches out a hand, and I pull back, afraid of his intentions. Hey, there's nothing to worry about, puss. I'm not going to harm you. I raise my eyes to his. My name's Tristan, he says, touching the top of my head. Not that you understand. Yes, I do. And that's a beautiful name. I need to get you to a vet, he says, pressing the phone button on the steering wheel. The sound of a fierce tone blares out before a woman's voice invades the silence. Porcelain Veterinary Clinic. Good afternoon. I found a stray cat. Can I call in for a checkup? I'm afraid both vets are fully booked until the end of the afternoon. The first available appointment is at 6:15. Tristan turns to me and tilts his head to one side. We'll take it. Could I have your name, please? Tristan Burrell. B-U-R-E-L. Got it. So that's an appointment with Dr. Lipinick at 6:15, Mr. Burrell. Great. Thank you. He ends the call. The silence fills the vehicle. It seeps through me, soothing my mind. I close my eyes and swallow. I close my eyes and allow his hand to caress me. We'll have to find you a name, he says, stroking me. His fingers are firm and sensitive. Apart from some earth caught under his thumbnail, they're clean. I could get used to being caressed. In fact, it's not that bad. I wonder if he had a cat before. I used to have a cat. There, he said it, confirming my thoughts. She was black and white, with a crooked tail. Nothing as beautiful as you. I like being petted. Mama House Gaming. My. Not like that? Psh, whatever. I open one eye and glare at him. How can he say that? My coat is muddy, and a few whiskers have fallen out, not to mention the cracked pads under my feet from walking so much. So, what are we going to call you, Puss? I already have a name. It's Xerenyse. What about Onyx, because of you being black? Or Gemma? Yeah, I like Gemma, he says, rubbing the side of my face with the back of his hand. Because you're a little gem. What a charmer. He makes me feel special. That's what I need right now. When I'm all cleaned up and fed, I'll let him stroke me some more. Sorry, I can't. Until then, I need to get some sleep. Not had a lot of that lately. Another break in the story. Everyone likes getting petted, apparently. The cats, Mama House Gaming. Hey, just as a reminder, it's Thursday. So if you see that message right here, I'll be reading Iron Flame in Discord tonight. Giddy. All right. So yes, if you want to join us for a completely different book that I'm not allowed to read on stream because of copyright issues, it's part of the Fourth Wing series. It's book number 2. You're welcome to join us. It'll be in about an hour and 20 minutes. All right, breaking the story is over. Here we go. When the car pulls to a halt, my eyes open to a thatched roof. Ooh, a cottage similar to mine. I make an attempt to get a better view, but my legs refuse to hold me. Take it easy, Gemma. There's no hurry. He's right. I lie down and wait. He grabs his rucksack from the back seat, takes me into his arms, and carries me to the cottage. The first thing I notice on entering is the hallway and the lounge on the right. Large terracotta flagstones cover the floor, and the exposed solid beams hold up a low ceiling. A leather settee faces the stone fireplace. Settee is also a couch, by the way. I'll soon be in front of that, listening to the crackling logs while the flames radiate their warm glow over me. A couple of trophies sit on a small round table to the right of the fireplace, along with the photo of Tristan wearing a judo outfit, a brown belt tied solidly around his waist. He looks younger in the photo, his hair shorter, his face rounder. With me still in his arms, Tristan drops the rucksack at the foot of the stairs, then mounts them slowly. Halfway down the landing, he swings a door open. I'm sure it's his bedroom. The room is spotless, a perfect magazine cover. Although masculine, with modern paintings of flowers and the forest scenes scattered over the walls, the room radiates a mellow atmosphere of warmth. And what a bed! It's huge. I'm going to like snuggling down on that snow-white duvet. Tristan holds me tighter and steps into the ensuite bathroom. My mouth falls open at the size of the huge corner bath. Room enough for a regiment. Pity I won't be trying that out. On the left, a wash basin sits in front of a large mirror. A shower unit with multiple shower heads finishes off the decor. If I were human, I'd spend my day there. I know cats don't like water. His voice is almost apologetic. You're right, I'm not on board with the idea. But I need to clean you up before we go to the vets. And you'll blah 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 blah. And you'll feel a lot better once I get rid of all that clogged mud. He turns on the shower spray and a warm vapor fills the unit. It won't take long, and I promise to be gentle. While the water runs, he leaves the bathroom and returns with a towel. He hangs it over the nearby rail before lifting me into the shower unit. My toes flinch as they come in contact with the cool ceramic base. I grit my teeth. I can do this. The shower spray releases thousands of droplets that cascade over me. I lean on the wall tiles in case my weak legs threaten to give way. The heat of the water soaks into me. I'm sure I look like a drowned rat. Tristan's face is one of concentration, clenched jaw and pursed lips, cautious not to let the water reach my face. I stand still and observe the rivulets of muddy water dripping down. Was I that dirty? He washes me in a massaging motion with just the right amount of pressure. It's soothing and warm. And to tell the truth, I like it. When he finishes cleaning, he takes a cloth and wipes my eyes and nose. Apart from Mama, I've never had anyone wash me before. I think I'm done, Puss. I'm here. What the hell did I miss? What the hell did I miss? Let's see. Xerenyse the cat left the church where she had found refuge and found herself in the forest where she was trying to find food, but instead Tristan, a guy that we hear about on the back of the book, found her. He has picked her up, taken her back to his house, and he is now cleaning her up. And yes, as Mama House Gaming said, talking about being petted and how much Xerenyse liked it, which Mama House also said she enjoys it. When he finishes cleaning, he takes a cloth and wipes my eyes and nose. Apart from Mama, I've never had anyone wash me before. I think I'm done, Puss. His voice is no more than a whisper. You've been good. No hissing or scratching. You deserve a nice meal. Grabbing a large towel, he wraps it around my body and carries me into the bedroom. The fresh fragrance from the fluffy fabric reminds me of home. Again. Once on the duvet, he holds me close, rubbing my fur with delicate fingers, praising me for being so good. After a lot of pampering, which I enjoy, he rolls the towel into a ball and tosses it into the linen basket before heading out onto the landing. Come on, Gemma. My paws tread on the thick white carpet as I plod behind him. They sink into the wool pile, and I don't want to move. It's so soft underfoot. The warmth is doing wonders for my paws. In the open-plan kitchen, Tristan prepares a meal for me. He grabs a sachet of cat food from the cupboard, no doubt left over from his last cat. He cuts open the plastic packet and squeezes a small portion of the food into a bowl. I meow to catch his attention, head tilted to one side. Winking at me, he squashes out the rest. He sure knows how to treat a lady. I stare at the feast in front of me. Its rich aroma makes my mouth water. The thought of delving into the meal is driving me nuts. Pushing a paw forward, I tap at the food. This isn't going to work. The squidgy texture sticks to my claws. Do I really want to eat this? At the same time, my hungry tummy is urging me to devour the lot. Oh well, here it goes. I tuck in, nose deep into the bowl. Despite its aspect, the food smells heavenly and the taste is out of this world. The creamy fish mix is pulpy and succulent. Sheer nectar. I've never tasted anything so good in all my life. Or is it because I'm famished? Almost 16 hours without eating would make anyone wolf down their food. And next to no time, the bowl is empty. Well, you sure enjoyed that, Tristan says, coming back with a tray of cat litter, which he places next to the back door. Yep, and you can serve the same anytime. During the time it takes for Tristan to fill the dishwasher, I carefully lick my paws and rub them over my nose. I'm getting used to the way of cleaning myself. Besides, I don't want to smell fishy. I continue licking my paws, saying a silent prayer of thanks to Durantia, Queen of the Druids, for sending Tristan my way. With a bit of luck, could she have been watching over me? Are you coming, Puss? He says, heading into the hallway. It's time to go to Glelan-le-Grand for your visit to the vets. So if you haven't noticed, our author is French, and therefore a lot of the places and stylistic places that are described in the book are also French. Oui, oui. Magnifique. Ooh la la. Bonjour. Je m'appelle the Bookfather. From where I snuggle in Tristan's arms, I scrutinize the building in front of me. Tall facade, one narrow window, sturdy wooden door, and a brass plate with the vet's name engraved in golden letters. Tristan rings the bell and enters. A black and white marble floor stretches from the door to the reception area, where a young woman sits behind a low counter. Behind her, the wall is decorated with posters of different animals. A faint smell of antiseptic lingers in the air. Good evening, can I help you? She flashes a set of perfect white teeth and pushes her red, trimmed glasses higher on her nose. Good evening. I phoned earlier for an appointment with Mr. Burrell. The young woman scrolls down the list in her diary and nods. Please take a seat. The vet won't be long. Stroking the top of my head, Tristan turns and sits in one of the vacant plastic chairs, balancing me nicely on his knees. A middle-aged woman with a kitten and a cat carrier retrieves a tattered magazine from the small wooden table in front of her. The kitten lets out a feeble meow. I recognize the fear in its voice. Mr. Burrell? A woman appears dressed in green scrubs. Must be the vet. She's pretty. Chestnut brown hair pulled back into a loose ponytail emphasizes her soft features, and her voice is warm. Please, come in. Tristan follows her into a room equipped with various medical devices. Tubes and wires of all shapes and sizes adorn the area. Sets of rubber gloves still under cellophane, along with dressings, lay on the shelves. A bottle of hand sanitizer perches on the wash basin. A set of syringes and other tools are positioned next to the examination table. Although I'm no expert, the place comes across as being well equipped. Right. Let me have a look, the woman says, taking me out of Tristan's arms. Her hands are soft yet firm. She approaches the table and lays me on my side. Her warm fingers press gently over the aching mass I've become. Every action is precise and calculated. She examines me, explaining her movements in a low, reassuring voice. There's a soft glimmer in her blue eyes as she smiles down at me, and her expression reminds me of Mama. Whenever I hurt myself, Mama would place my head onto her knees and stroke my hair, soothing the pain. Right, let's see if you have a microchip. She reaches behind and takes what seems like an electronic gun. Holding it only inches away, she rocks it gently around my ears and shoulder blades before scanning up and down the length of my back. At first, the buzzing sound doesn't bother me. Little by little, it grates on my nerves. Are cats' ears oversensitive? Tristan and the vet don't seem to notice the monotonous din. Doesn't appear to be one, she says. I lie back down and wait for the next part of the examination. Anxiety creeps through me. What if she finds something wrong with me? I feel all right, but you never know. I come over in a cold sweat. Have you got a tattoo? She checks both inner ears before moving down and parting the fur on my abdomen. Nothing there either, she says more to herself. I stretch out all 4 legs on the white plastic table and study the drips and syringes nearby. I hope she won't need to use any of those. She moves her hands over my body, lingering longer over my head, neck, ears, and feet. No ticks either. That's good. Tristan's lips curl upwards, and I love the way his dimple crinkles. Have you thought about having her spayed? The vet asks. Oh, so she is female then. I spring to my feet, spitting. Get away from me. Tristan steps forward. He gathers me in his arms and whispers, Don't worry, Puss, I won't let that happen. He turns to the vet. She's too pretty for that. And with the right mate, she'll have a gorgeous kittens. My body relaxes. Adios, Vos. Thanks for the alert time. Hey, Psycho. You have a great night. Appreciate you. My body relaxes. He's just won a brownie point. I'm warming even more to the man. Tristan places me back on the table. He cups my face with both his hands and holds my gaze. A sharp sting in the back of my neck, and I struggle like hell, feeling my head from his freeing my head from his hold. What's going on? The vet releases my skin and pulls back with a syringe in her hand. You're a brave little cat. Who's she trying to convince? Couldn't she have warned me? Hands deep in his pockets, my rescuer puts on a weak smile. Is she all right? The woman ruffles the fur on the back of my neck. Apart from the scratch on her nose, nothing that good food and loving care won't heal. And she's spot on. Moog, I didn't even know you were live. What? Hi, Moog. Thank you so much for raiding. Oh. What were you up to this evening? Oh, we're about to get an ad, so let me snooze it. Was it, you used a new category? Yeah, I just learned about it. Nomad, what's up? Thank you so much for coming in. What were you reading? Just out of curiosity. Or was it more of a I read and you do your thing and I'll be over here? You know, your sprints, like your reading sprints. What were you getting up to? And for those of you that don't know me, that came in with the raid, hi, I'm the Bookfather. Here we read books. Right now we're reading the one that's above my head, Xerenyse The Witch Cat by A.J. Saunders. I read books by authors that give me permission so that I can help kind of, well, market their work, essentially. Plus, it gives me new, fun things to read at the same time. I fell asleep to Moog's relaxing vibes. Perfect. You kind of love the cover? Yeah, it's pretty good. Here, I'll show it in more of a... Of course, the green eyes are messing with the green screen, but that's okay. Falling asleep in a calming, relaxing stream is that's a great badge of honor, I think. Thank you for the follow as well. It's great to have you. I will say sometimes we do play the occasional game, like Once Human, for example. But my main focus here is to become your audiobook and just read to you. Give you a spot to relax in, you know? We do have a puzzle, an online puzzle. If anyone wishes to do that, you just have to type !puzzle to get the link. It's a community-based puzzle, so it can be a group. As many people that can fit can play. There is an option. But yeah, welcome in. It's fantastic to have you. And Moog, thank you so much for raiding me. If you have to raid and run, I totally understand. Go take care of yourself. My gosh. I am feeling loved. Speaking of book, we're on page 47 of our new book. This is only our second stream reading it. And, of course, I lost my place. Oh, no, I didn't. We were literally at a break. Yep. User Death. Hello. Nice to see you. I'm going to lurk and make some dinner. Sounds like a good idea. I hope you have a delicious dinner. We had potato soup with bits of bacon thrown in. I forgot to add pepper, though. I was going to do that, and I forgot. But it was still delicious. And some delicious tea as well. All right. Back to our book. Thank you for being here. I will read to you. She's a lovely, healthy cat, Mr. Brielle. Take her home and enjoy each other's company. Now there's a break in the story. And actually, now that I think about it, Twitch is going to force me to run an ad. So I'm going to do that now, since we're in a break. And then I'll read again once the ad is finished. Okay, so I told it to run. That should be running now. Of course, depending on where you live in the world, that ad may never start. It may last the whole 2 minutes, or it may last 30 seconds. I don't know how Twitch works. I just work here. But yeah, anyway. For those of you that can still hear me, I hope you're enjoying the story so far. I knew we were going to meet Tristan eventually because Tristan is mentioned on the back of the book. But I wasn't sure when we were going to meet Tristan, so... Should be good, though. She likes him. She likes getting petted by him. I'm not going to get over that. And knowing the author, too, I think she phrased some of her sentences that way on purpose because, well, let's be honest, it could be taken either direction, and I think she knew that, and she did it for fun. All right, we have about 30-ish seconds left. Just gonna sit and wait. Listen to the tunes. La, la, la. The music is so relaxing. I like it. All right. According to Twitch, the ads are over, so we will return from our break in the story and carry on. Back at his cottage in Bainon, Tristan places me gently onto the mat inside the front door. The cold atmosphere in the house sends a shiver down my spine. I miss the warmth of his arms. He crouches down next to me and smooths that fur on my back. Shall I make us a nice fire? I nuzzle up to him and purr in agreement. Sounds like a perfect idea. Tristan removes his coat and rolls up his sleeves of his pullover and takes the log basket along with the axe leaning against the side of the fireplace. He heads to the kitchen and goes out the back door. Through the slit in the doorway, I observe him setting about his task. From what looks to be the wood stack, he takes the larger logs and places them on an old, chopped down tree trunk. Over and over, he raises his arms and hits down hard, splintering the logs into smaller pieces of firewood, which he places in the basket. Small beads of perspiration form across his forehead. He wipes them away with the back of his hand and continues chopping, his well-defined muscles standing out of his forearms. I have to admit, he does appear fit. Before long, we're sitting side by side on the settee facing the warm hearth. I sit in a neat ball, tail curled tightly around me. The glowing embers move in rhythm with the flames, hypnotizing me. Tristan's hand moves to my ears before he drops a kiss to the top of my head. When I look up, he lowers his head to mine. This is your home now, Gemma. I hope you like it here. I do. We're going to be happy together. People assume we men don't have a sixth sense, but it's as if we have a sort of special bond. I feel it too. After another scratch on the head, he heads to the dining room table. Time for me to have a bite to eat. In the faint firelight, I stare across the table and watch the shadows dance on Tristan's face. Little by little, I've got used to the strange condition. It's like having two people in one body. We both know and do different things. Not only have I gained the incredible sense of smell, sight, and hearing of a cat, but I've also retained the ability to reason like a human. I can read, analyze situations, and I've kept human feelings. All in all, under the present circumstances, I've acquired the best of both worlds. Tristan reaches for his glass and lifts it. The firelight reflects ruby sparkles off the wine. He twirls the glass, and my nostrils are filled with wonderful aromas. Cherries and almonds to start with, followed by the undertones of resin and leather. Wow, I never realized a cat had such a strong sense of smell. I can almost taste the wine. To us, Tristan says, dipping his nose into the glass. He inhales deeply, no doubt exploring the more discreet aromas. I remember doing that back home. Mama taught me how to train my nose and taste buds for the preparation of potions. From time to time, she'd let me practice on different wines, saying the smelling and tasting process was super important. Why is my PC trying to... We're not updating right now, PC. Take a rest. Always losing my place. With an expert spin of the wrist, Tristan swirls the crimson liquid. Staring over the rim, he arches his eyebrows in silent admiration. I'd say this is going to be divine, Gemma. Yeah, well, I wouldn't mind a slurp. He inspects the wine further before taking a slow, appreciative sip, pursing his lips as he draws in air. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I observe him lick his lips, and I can't help running my tongue over mine. Imagining that bold, fruity taste, my mouth waters. He folds his napkin and leaves the room. I sit quietly, waiting for his return, ogling the wine. It's crying out to me, begging me to taste it. Try as I might to resist, it pulls me like a magnet. I tiptoe across the table, taking care not to walk on the cutlery. I don't need the fork to prong into the tender pads. When I get up close to his glass, I sink my nose in and extend my tongue, curling the tip to lap up the crimson liquid. He's right. It's out of this world. Hey, what's going on? Tristan enters the room and dashes up to the table. His eyes rotate to the back of my head. My eyes rotate to the back of my head, and I can't turn the page. And the furniture changes shape with every blink of my eyes. The room has become a wild carousel. I topple off the table and land by chance on 4 feet. Not for long. Like a gymnast in an artistic competition, my legs stretch out into an elaborate side split, and I flop down onto my belly. Shit. This has never happened before. I'm pretty good at handling alcohol, not to mention the stronger potions sending me into trances back at the cottage. I can't even stand on my legs. And there are 4 of them to support me. Could it be that I'm smaller? I only took a couple of laps. Mind you, they were greedy ones. You can't drink that, puss, he says, holding in a laugh. You'll make yourself ill. Don't I know it? As if on cue, my stomach heaves and everything I ate for dinner lands on the floor in front of me. Mitchell enjoys the puzzle. How embarrassing. What will he take me for? I keep my eyes down. Maybe if I wish hard enough, the kitchen flagstones will swallow me up. Come here, puss. He bends to pick me up. I take a few steps back on wobbly legs. I don't want him snuggling up to a smelly ball of puke. Maybe a bit of fresh air will do you good. No, it won't. I need a nap. Sleep it off. Struggling to keep balance, I turn on my heels and head for the basket Tristan prepared for me. I lift a paw to step in, stumble, and collapse in a heap. My poor head is about to explode. Another break in the story. This is a very long chapter. I mean, it has lots of breaks. Oh, it's almost done. It's 2.5 pages. But either way, there's a break, which means I get to take a sip. It's not Moscato wine, but it's a delicious cup of tea. What came over you? Tristan asks when I enter the lounge a little later with such a headache. I swear it fills the whole house. He's sitting on the settee reading a magazine. Cats don't drink wine. Well, this one does. I suppose you've got a hangover now. You got it. Come here and let me cuddle you. I saunter up to him as quickly as my pounding head will allow. With every step, a dull pain shoots straight to my brain. Fortunately, the room is dimly lit. I couldn't bear a strong light right now. Mind you, doesn't stop me from squinting. The taste of vomit is still present, and it's hard to swallow. I now understand why it's called a hangover. It's as if a heavy blanket is hanging over my head and eyes. I must be a sorry sight, because Tristan chuckles. I can't give you aspirin. You're just a cat. He opens his arms and it takes a huge effort to jump into his lap. Drinking wine. Whatever next? He's right. I have to get it into my head that for now I'm a cat. I need to get used to it, whether I like it or not. Tristan massages my head and the tender caress. They're soothing. Come on, puss. It's time for bed. One by one, he switches off the lights and heads up the stairs. I don't move. Happy to stay on the settee for now. It's peaceful and warm here. A gust of wind whistles down the chimney, rattling the stack, and I bolt up the stairs. My heart thuds against my chest as I race to the only door not completely closed. I nose it open and find a blanket on the floor to the side of the bed. Safe and secure, snuggled in the folds of the warm cover, my thoughts wander to my family. Are they missing me as much as I'm missing them? Another break in the story. I wake with a start. Morverio's voice fades from my dream and my heart regains its normal rhythm. I recognize where I am and relax. One of these days, my heart's going to rocket out of my chest. Dawn has yet to break. The room is silent, apart from a few birds chirping from the treetops, announcing the start of a new day. And how are you today? Tristan asks, reaching out to turn on the bedside lamp. Leaning on one elbow, he smiles down at me and pats my back. I purr as best as I can. Didn't get much sleep, but at least I was warm and safe. I have something for you, he says, and slips out of bed. Striding across the room, he unlocks the old oak wardrobe door. I stretch forward and discover the layout of his clothes, all arranged in a precise way. Rails of trousers and shirts, piles of t-shirts, and a corner rolled up of socks. A corner of rolled up socks. He tugs open a drawer and pulls out a tiny black coffer. He returns and opens the box. A strip of tan leather lies on a piece of cloth. It used to belong to my other cat. He clips it around my neck before sliding a finger inside the band. Perfect. I head to the full-length swivel mirror. He's right. It is perfect. I strut around like I'm on a catwalk. Tail high in the air, legs crossing as a little parade up and down in front of the mirror.
Hi there.
Gray. Hello. How are you? Haven't seen you in a while. Missed your face. You make me laugh, Gemma. Tristan's voice makes me jump. You're almost human. I'm good, just headed home. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I turn and give him a seductive look. If I could bat my eyelids, I'd be taking off. He pats the bed. Come here, puss. Jumping next to him, I nuzzle into his hand. The collar is strangling me. Well, not really. It's just strange having something tight around my neck. A symbol that I belong to him. None of us wear necklaces. We don't belong to anyone but ourselves. Great-grandma always told us that a necklace meant eternal love and evoked commitment. Whatever. I'm stuck with it and will have to get used to the thing. On top of that, I need to behave if I want him to take care of me until the year is up. I can't fend for myself if Moverio is on the loose. When I get the chance, I'll head back to the forest, to the place where he got struck down, just to make sure he really is dead. And that was chapter 4. So, basically, if I could summarize chapter 4, Xerenyse the cat goes into the woods in search of food, only to find herself hiding and then being found by Tristan. Tristan takes her home, made sure she's okay at the vet, feeds her, and basically says, hey, we're going to be okay. You're with me. I'm with you. All's good. So it does make me wonder, is it? Seems a little too good to be true, doesn't it? I mean, for the rest of the book, we could just say, and a year went by, and I got a little fatter as a cat, and Tristan loved me, and then, poof, I ran away because I was able to turn back into a human. End of story. But that's not what's going to happen. There's still that guy that she thinks is dead. Moverio. I think we all know that he's not. I mean, it's kind of obvious. Otherwise, the book would be over. Chapter 5 starts on page 54. And we go to 199. So there's definitely something bad gonna happen. It's too good to be true right now. Everything is hunky-dory, peaceful, relaxing. And when that happens, things break. Unless his brother comes to avenge his death. I mean, only the author knows at this point. Unless you've read this book already. That is some delicious tea. I know I've said that already. Just in case you didn't know. Man, my neck is stiff. Okay. Let me see. It's 7:24. Let me take a look at how long chapter 5 is, because chapter 4 was actually really long. Okay, chapter 5 goes from 54 to 63. Not too bad. I haven't read a book in many years. Well, all the evenings you've hung out with me in here, audiobook. You can start putting books on your list. So, you may not have read them, but you heard them. And that's good enough. They have audiobooks for a reason. This just happens to be audiobooks with, commentary and interruptions. All right. Let's see if we can get through chapter 6 before I have to jump over to Discord and read something else. Hey man, how's the tea? The tea is excellent. Chapter 5. The house is empty. Tristan has gone to work, and I am left to wait for his return. Those long waits annoy me. There's nothing to do except sleep and eat, and I've done a lot of that over the past 2 weeks. And yes, moaning sound alerts, don't forget that. I've also gained more and more cat reflexes. What if I lose my identity as a human? What happens when my family turns me back to my normal self? Will I forget how to behave like a person? This is so worrying, and I still have this strange feeling that Moverio might not be dead. Mama House Gaming has redeemed her daily book bonk. There you go. You have been bonked. Feel better. My head full of thoughts, I scurry up the stairs and into the bedroom, where I jump onto the window ledge and scan the view, as I do every afternoon before Tristan comes home from work, just to make sure all's quiet on the front. It's great sitting here with the sun on me, watching the citrine heads of daffodils bob and waver over the cool breeze, while clusters of soft pink blossoms swing from the branches of the cherry tree. It's a beautiful, well-kept garden. Tristan and I have at least one thing in common: a love for nature. Warmth radiates through me. It won't be long before spring sets in. Wood violets and lily of the valley will be in complete bloom. My darling plants will wait to be repotted in the back garden, and white jasmine will dance in the breeze, releasing their unmistakable fragrance. My chest aches, and my happiness fades. That won't be true for this year. A childhood memory slips through my mind. I see myself with Mama, strolling hand in hand with the picnic basket, skipping to our special place next to the lake. It used to be our haven of peace. Nana and Great Grandma would join us, and they'd spend hours teaching me how to recognize different wild herbs. That's right, herbs with an H. I jump down and zigzag through Tristan's clothes scattered across the room. Burying my face in one of his shirts, I pick up the undertones of his sage-spiced aftershave, and a kaleidoscope of butterflies come to life in the pit of my stomach. The click of the front door brings an end to my reverie, and I scoot downstairs. "Hey, beautiful, how are you?" Tristan's warm voice sends adrenaline rushing through me. He drops to one knee and fondles the side of my face. I purr with all my might. I want him to know just how much his compliments please me. He stands, kicks off his shoes, and heads to the back door when he pulls on his garden boots. "I'm going to do a bit of gardening. Are you coming?" I venture out onto the terrace, nose close to the ground. All around the cottage, the vast open fields lengthen toward the horizon and the forest. One or two cows turn their heads. The lopsided scarecrow waves a bedraggled arm. Christ, it's nice to breathe in the fresh air. The sun sinks and the long shadows stretch across the apricot red sky. Absolute stillness fills the fields. Nothing stirs, no movement, not a sound. My warm breath puffs into the air, and my gaze falls onto the scarecrow. Has he changed positions? I thought his left arm hung to the ground. Unease creeps over me as the wind lifts and sways the long grass. My ribs heave up and down. I don't like this one little bit. Glancing behind me, I quicken my pace and rush back inside. Tristan heads to his study and sets about working on his computer. He licks his lower lip as he hits the keyboard, and I'm hypnotized by his mouth. I come to sit at his feet and nudge his leg with my nose. "What's up, puss? Want to cuddle?" Tristan reaches down and lifts me gently onto his knees, where I purr at top volume, enjoying his attention. Jumping onto the keyboard, I press my face right up in front of the screen. Different photos of shrubs appear. He scrolls down, and various graphs pop up. One is a pollution chart, revealing the effects of acid rain on flora. Another shows the use of pesticides, and a colorful diagram exhibits the effects of the weather on different soils. So, that's why he was rummaging in the forest when we met. He must have an interesting job. A sharp ping from his phone announces an incoming message. A broad grin cracks his face. I'm curious as to who put that smile there. I crane my neck to the limit and take a peep at the tiny screen. Estelle. Who's she? No one's been here since I arrived. That said, I've only been here for a fortnight. 2 weeks. I clench my teeth as my chest and stomach burn, hoping I'm not getting worked up over nothing. Tristan sends a message and goes back to stroking my back. Estelle will be here in a few minutes. You'll like her. Will I? She's a work colleague. Stepped onto the scene a few months back when hired to deal with the environmental department in our lab. He gives out a long sigh. I haven't seen her for 3 weeks. She's been away on a business trip to South America. If she's only a work colleague, what's with all the love hearts and kisses to end her message? My stomach quivers. I don't like this one little bit. I presume she's glad to be back. He rubs me under my chin with his thumb. You see, Estelle is like me. We have no family. I catch his sad expression. It never occurred to me he had no family. Must be hard. No one to talk to or to share special moments. I imagine him alone in the cottage reading his books in front of the fire. An uneasy heaviness falls on my chest. I want to comfort him and tell him he's not alone, that I'm here. I'll even let him stroke me until I'm bald if it comforts him. We enjoy each other's company, and I like the time we spend together. It's a pity we can't be together more often. If we had a botanical garden here, Estelle and I wouldn't have to go off traveling around the world collecting plants. That's my dream, Gemma, to have something like that here in the region. He snaps out of his reverie and turns to me. I don't know why I'm telling you all this. It's just good to talk to someone, even if you can't understand. Yes, I can. The sound of a key in the front door brings my ears to attention. I'm in the study, Estelle. Tristan's happy voice booms in the cottage. Come on in. Hang on a minute. Do colleagues give each other keys to their homes? She must be more than a simple work acquaintance. Mind you, their relationship can't be that serious. There's no sign of her belongings in the place. I take in a deep breath, ready to meet the much appreciated Estelle. The door bangs shut, and determined footsteps echo on the large terracotta flagstones until high red stilettos step into view. I lift my gaze from shiny shoes to shapely legs and a heavy bosom. The woman's tight auburn ringlets give her an air that reminds me of Medusa. The contrast between the massive, flamboyant hair framing her pale skin and flashing violet eyes is so scary. I avoid looking at her for fear of being turned to stone. What's that? She asks, pointing at me. Tristan gets to his feet and I jump to the floor. I'm Xerenyse, Gemma to you. Tristan stoops to give the top of my head a loving scratch. It's the cat I told you about. Isn't she lovely? I lift my head higher and purr. Yeah, Estelle says, observing me like I'm some sort of dirty rodent. You can stroke her if you like. Estelle puts her bag on the desk and touches me with the tips of her fingers, staring at me with squinted eyes. I put up with her fingers in my fur, detecting the tiniest twitch at the side of her mouth. She likes you, Estelle. A wide grin cracks his face. I do not. Can't you see my ears twitching back and forth? I'm only putting up with this to please you. I'll make coffee while you get to know each other. Then you can tell me all about your trip. Tristan gives the top of my head another scratch and heads out of the room. Estelle flashes a sweet smile and turns to me. Have you been defleed? How dare you? I don't have fleas. She shuffles forward, invading my personal space, and before I get the chance to step backwards, my claws are unsheathed. Wow. Didn't see that coming. Holding out her fingers, she lunges for my collar. No chance she's going to touch me after what she said. Her eyes squint with hatred, and she gives me a scanty shake of the head. I'll put you outside. Oh, no, you won't. I set in my claws as she stoops to pick me up, snagging at the fabric of her beautiful dress. How did I manage to do that? Looks as if my feline instincts are kicking in. You little flea bag. Flecks of spittle hit me. She jumps back and checks the material. Her eyes narrow further and her lips curl upwards. For a brief moment, we glare at each other in a staring contest. I almost said sharing, but I said staring instead. She pushes her hair away from her face, revealing a porcelain white neckline. I stand battle ready, legs anchored to the ground. Before I know it, she grabs me by one collar and rushes to the front door. What is her game? I lash out in a panic and scratch the back of her hand before pulling my paw back in surprise. I can't believe I did that. No doubt my cat impulses. No doubt my cat impulses again. And Nana comes to mind. I wonder if she'd be proud of me standing up for myself. Eyes wide with disbelief, Estelle releases me in a flash and lets out an ear-piercing scream. I bolt out of reach under the coffee table just as Tristan enters the lounge in a whirlwind. What's up? Estelle holds out her hand. She scratched me. The little devil nabbed me. Oh my God, Estelle, I'm so sorry. Gemma has never done that before. You must have scared her. And I so wanted you two to get on. No chance of that. He takes Estelle's extended hand and helps her to sit on the settee. You wait here and I'll get a plaster. On second thought, probably best if I get some antiseptic too. From under the table, I have a clear view of what's going on. Tristan shoots up the stairs, leaving Estelle poised to perfection. Like a model out of a glossy magazine, she inspects her manicured fingernails. I can't fathom what all the fuss is about. I mean, it's not as if she's bleeding to death and the scratch can't be hurting that much if she's more interested in her painted nails. It's clear that she hates me, and the feeling is starting to become mutual. Tristan returns with what seems to be the first aid box and places on the settee. Examining Estelle's hand, he frowns. I could have sworn the scratch was deeper. It was. I scratched her first class. Oh, well, that's good. Not too serious. He sprays the gauze pad with antiseptic and dabs the graze. At each pat, Estelle lets out a pathetic whimper. What an actress. She'd put Oscar winners to shame. Tristan covers the scratch with a plaster. Right. Now you're taken care of. Let's see if Gemma's ready to come out. He drops down on all fours and peers under the table. Leave her, Tristan. She'll come out when she's ready. She's done wrong. A little time on her own won't do her any harm. Maybe you're right. No, Tristan, please. Oh, my music stopped. I stare up at him with sad eyes. It's okay, Puss, he says, and I let out a feeble meow. You stay there for as long as you need. Getting to his feet, he bumps the table, and an empty glass bounces onto the flagstones and shatters in a majestic smash. Shit. Tristan reaches out to pick up the broken pieces. And shit again. He pops his finger into his mouth. Over in a flash, Estelle kneels beside him. Oh, Tristan, you're bleeding. And it's all that stupid cat's fault. She pulls a tissue out of her jacket pocket and wraps it around his finger. Gemma's got it in for us. Her words floor me. I worm myself out from under the table, avoiding the sharp pieces of glass, and look on from afar. Tristan is sitting on the kitchen stool watching Bimbo wrap a plaster around his wound, a sympathetic grin etched on her face. Want me to make you feel better? She asks, pointing upwards. Her face, a rainbow of smiles. Later, he says, kissing the inside of her hand. Let me clean up the broken glass first. A stab of jealousy hits me right in the gut, and I try to swallow my disappointment. It sticks in my throat like a dry meatball, struggling to go down without sauce. I have to face the facts, even if they do hurt. He's a human. I'm a cat. Estelle shoots me a smile of triumph. How can I compete with her? What chance do I have against this bubbly woman? Something about her gives me the creeps, though. Either she's not all she's made out to be, or Tristan has fallen under her charm. If I didn't know any better, I'd even go as far as to say she's cast a spell on him. Half an hour later, they sit for dinner, submerged in their Wait, what? It's another French world. Submerged in their tete-a-tete. Submerged in their food. I observe from where I'm crouched in my basket, envying Estelle, envying she's human, envying she's flirting with my hero. In the flickering candlelight, they both look relaxed. Estelle flicks her auburn hair to one side and twirls a lock around her finger. She tilts her glass towards his, and a seductive smile spreads across her face. To us, she says, locking eyes with him. Tristan lifts his glass, and Bimbo leans across the table to place a slow kiss on his lips. It's all too much. I pretend to sleep, but Cat Tristan's warm, low voice and Estelle's provocative laughter. My insides are raw. My world is crumbling. I think I'll take a shower. Tristan's voice forces me out of my self-pity. Want me to wash your back? How pathetic. Tristan chuckles and disappears, leaving me with Bimbo. She carries the plates to the dishwasher and stacks them neatly before slamming the door shut. With her back propped against the sink, she scowls at me, a Cheshire grin spread across her face. A good or bad sign? Depends on what, I suppose. She taps a finger on the tip of her nose. Definitely bad. Fed up with her pathetic face, I pad off in the direction of Tristan's bedroom. Oh, no, you don't. She sprints up the stairs to close the door, but I'm quicker. I take the steps 2 by 2 and zigzag between her legs into the bedroom, where Tristan stands in the ensuite doorway, a trail of wet footprints smudged on the parquet behind him. Damp, inky hair sticks to his face, and the towel wrapped around his hips leaves just enough to the imagination. One question puzzles me, though. Why has he covered up in front of Estelle? Are they not that close? I sit on the edge of the bed waiting for him. Out of breath, Estelle approaches and points to the blanket at the side of the bed. Does she always sleep there? Yes, I do. Is that a problem? Of course, he replies. Oh. Estelle's face is a mash of disgust. Won't she be better outside? Tristan scratches my underchin. She never goes out at night. Maybe we can make an exception for tonight? We will not. I'm staying in. I don't want her unhappy, Estelle. She's been through a lot. You can't imagine the state she was in when I found her. A muscle in Estelle's left cheek twitches once more. In fact, it twitches quite a lot. She seems better now. Maybe it's time to let her be the animal she is. At the sound of her irritating voice, my tail switches back and forth. She'd better watch her step, or I won't be responsible for my actions. And that's the truth. My cat instincts always take over when I least expect. Tristan approaches and circles the central point of my head. I love that. Makes me all sleepy and relaxed. Sheer ecstasy. Can't help purring. Estelle soon puts an end to that. You should put her out for the night. All cats go out at night. Not just yet. Why wait? Estelle folds her arms high over her chest, a sly grin on her lips. She's staying in the house. Tristan tones end all dispute. Wow, I like this side of him. From the sour scowl on Estelle's face, she sussed out there's no point in stressing the matter further. At least put her out of the bedroom. She's got a cozy blanket downstairs. I'm sure she's dying to snuggle down into that soft blanket. No, I'm not. I focus on Tristan, trying to decipher his thoughts. What's he going to do? In a jiffy, Estelle's arms come from behind his body and clasp him tight around the chest, her fingers fondling his tiny hairs there. He turns and they hold each other in a slow, sumptuous hug. His chest rises and falls slowly. And I'm not going to win. I don't expect to. A dull pain tugs deep inside. Estelle pulls back from the embrace and nods over at me. With one hand under my body, Tristan lifts me from the bed and holds me close. I nestle my nose in his chest. I can still smell his soap. He takes it nice and slow down the stairs. The ticking of the clock in the hallway and the soft whirring of the fridge in the kitchen are the only audible sounds. I'm going to be lonely as hell down here, but I have to accept this. I don't want to upset or annoy Tristan. He might not want to care for me anymore. Then where would I go? Back out into the unknown? Straight into Mervario's arms? Having said that, he hasn't shown his face since he got struck by lightning. Surely he can't have survived. But what if he's healing from his wounds, getting his next plan of attack ready? In my basket, Tristan tucks the blanket around me, and I press my cheek onto his cool hand. There, you're tucked in for the night. I curl into the fabric, heartache flowing through me. A sudden urge to cry surfaces, but I can't. Instead, I lick my paws to clean my eyes, even if they aren't dirty. Then, stretching my front legs out, I bury my face between them. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of chapter 5. So what do we think? Estelle. Just a person that doesn't like cats, like the everyday individual that could be out there? I know there are some. Or is there something more? Who knows? We might find out. Either way, it'll have to wait till next time. Oh, and that reminds me. What is today's date? Today's the 26th. I have a work trip coming up soon. So we will stream again on Sunday the 29th. And on Thursday the 3rd. But that'll be it. Hi, New Fickle. Don't worry about it. Glad to see you. As of October 6th, which is a Sunday when I would normally be streaming, I will likely be on a plane or just landing or getting my bags or something. So that's Sunday the 6th, Thursday the 10th, Sunday the 13th. Those 3 streams, I will be gone. So we've got 2 more streams until I have to depart. So I just wanted to make that known now. And I will miss you greatly, but it has to be done. Poor Xerenyse, I don't like Estelle. Seems to be she might know Xerenyse is really a human, or is the BBEG in disguise or something. It's really good so far, and I'm really enjoying it. Well, I'm glad you are, Adamantine. I am too. I'll be quite interested to see what happens next, because everything's kind of been low-key. We did have a little hint that maybe the Scarecrow is, the shapeshifter. Because he can shapeshift, remember? He can take the form of anything. And she said that the Scarecrow looked like it moved. Did it? Or was that just the wind? Or was that her imagination? Difficult to say. But yeah. Let's find someone to raid. because I am going to be reading another book in about 6-ish minutes in Discord. So if you want to stay with me and kind of continue the reading journey, !iron will get you the Discord link, and we'll be inside the event chat at the top of the hour. Okay. Oh, well, you know what? There you go, Adamantine. Good job. Maiko Psycho is online right now in the new writing and reading category. So, I say we go raid. Seems only fitting. Let me just make sure I spell this properly, because I don't want to send you somewhere else. That would be embarrassing. All right. The raid has been created. Thank you again for hanging out with me. Thank you for the raids. Thank you for the new follows, for the chats, for the good times, for the commentary. I've enjoyed all of it. Please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Copy that raid message. And we'll be back on Sunday. But until then, have a good night.